Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first podcast of Gamification Station. I'm Chase Talkie, and this is.
I'm Logan Talkie. Nice to meet you guys.
And we're both brothers. We're both in the future wanting to start a business and hopefully make it fun. Maybe use some gamification mechanics. So we both know a little bit about gamification. This episode, we're going to talk about what the heck is gamification. I'm Chase Talkie. I'm currently in a program called Praxis. So I'm creating this podcast, learning how to make podcasts, and hopefully I can gamify the marketing process for this podcast. Logan, you want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Logan Talkie. I'm an aspiring entrepreneur, streamer, YouTuber, whatever you want to call it. I have a little bit of following on platforms, and I try to stream as often as I can. And my brother and I like to, just get around ideas with gamification or anything like that. So I'm glad to be here.
Oh, yeah. All right. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about video games because obviously gamification steals from video games, and there's a reason for that. So first, video games, they definitely have mastered engagement and motivation. They had to. That's how they make money. They make money from people being engaged with their video games and keep playing their video games. If no one's playing it, they're not making money. So they had to figure out how to engage and motivate people, and they definitely mastered that. So we'll talk about a couple examples of some video games that have high engagement, high motivation, and then we'll go into why it works. But uh, you have any examples?
Yeah, well, I was going to say I wanted to add on top of something like that. So, for a lot of people that would probably be interested in this type of topic, going along with what you were saying earlier, I'm sure a lot of us have been in a situation where, you're really addicted to this game for a certain reason, right? So, like a demographic, young teens or whatever, however you want to put it. When you're playing a game or you're younger or even now, you're like, man, I really want to play this game so I can get this certain item, or man, I really want to get to this level, or I really want to get to this ring. This is all, involved gamification. So you can continue going on with that.
Yeah, different games have different reasons. There's different mechanics and different ways to engage people, which we'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, there's something for everybody out there. There's some type of mechanic to make people engaged and motivated. They definitely mastered getting everyone, their audience, whoever they're trying to target, they know how to keep you engaged and motivated. And gamification basically is taking those mechanics from video games and applying them into real life. So first, we'll talk a little bit about video games and then how that can be applied into real life and what that means. So I guess an example of some video games is like Logan brought up earlier, Toontown. We were addicted to that. Why do you think you were addicted to that?
So we have this fixation on this game called Toontown. So obviously the game already catered to our demographic with the animations and the advertisement. So that's what roped us in. So they roped us in. But what kept us coming back and playing? It was the thought of getting to that next gag, which is like an attack, or getting to the next gag track, which is a different type of attack, or getting to the Cellbot VP, which is like the first boss you played. Like all these characteristics of like further progressing in this game. Just makes you want to keep playing it. And on top of that, too, it was MMO, which is a massive multiplayer online. So you make friends while you're playing the game. It's all these things that keep you coming back to the game every day and wanting to get back to the game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He brought up some things, like you said, progression, playing with your friends. Those are some very big things that you can do for gamification. Another game that people do a lot is World of Warcraft. That's like one of the biggest games out there. And some reasons are there's a constant story. You never know what's coming next. Everybody wants to do the story. Within this big story, you're yourself. You create your character. You do whatever you want. You're free to do whatever you want. And while you're doing that, you're upgrading your own character, seeing him grow, seeing him get stronger. You want the next thing. Uh, it's You're thinking about it. Like when you're not playing the game, you're thinking about what you can do next, upgrading your character. What are the best ways to upgrade your character? So there's some basic video games there that have some high engagement rate. So now we'll talk about why that works. So there's this guy named Yu Kai Chou, and he came up with an Octalysis game chart, and I'll put it on the screen so you can see what that looks like. But there's 8 different areas to human motivation, human engagement. They're called the human core drive. So I'll go through the list real quick and then we'll deep dive into each one. So the first one is epic meaning and calling. Then there's development and accomplishment, empowerment of creativity and feedback, ownership and possession, social influence and relatedness, scarcity and impatience, unpredictability and curiosity, and loss and avoidance. So we'll deep dive into each and every one of these and see why they work. And then we'll also, after that, we'll see how they can be applied into real life, how you can mix and match these things to engage people. So first, epic meaning and calling. So there's a reason you're doing what you're doing. There's a meaning behind it. There's a storyline, and the calling side of that means you feel engaged with this story. So in World of Warcraft, there's a storyline, and the calling, you're part of this storyline. So Logan, can you think of any games?
Yes. So I think this one is really good for single player RPG games.
Yeah.
I think quick example, Dragon Quest. I think Dragon Quest has a great staple of story and continue on and having meaning and a calling. You get attached to characters, you get attached to the story. You keep playing. Obviously, there's over 11, maybe even 12 now, different Dragon Quest games. So people keep coming back for reasons because they love the characters and they love the story.
Mm.
Um, and that just it piques people's interest. They get attached.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, yeah, some others, like even in Toontown, Logan brought up, there's a story. Like these bad guys took over the area. You want to take them all down, and you want to get to the end of the game. There is no end of the game, but there's this point where you completed the end task. There is an end in sight. So I guess in work where there is no gamification, there's no end. There's no end goal. In most jobs, you're just doing the tasks in front of you. So I guess you could call that a goal, but it's not an end goal. It's not a long journey that you can see where you're going. So
Well, I'd like to say, I think a lot of people think the end goal actually would be retirement, which
yeah, but not
but
specifically tied to the job.
but there's also an increase of people taking on like several different jobs throughout their careers now.
Exactly.
So and it's a reason because people don't want to keep coming back and doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah, exactly. It's
The
repetitive.
gamification is important, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely. So if you zoom in, yeah, your personal end goal could be retirement, but having the job be the journey, the job itself isn't fun. It's repetitive. There's no long term goal for the job. So in the end, if you're working for a startup, it's completely different. Like if you're working for SpaceX, you know that your end goal is to get that rocket to Mars. You're so much more engaged in that. If you're an accountant, what's your end goal?
Yeah,
To
that's what I'm trying to say. Is I don't want the end goal to be retirement. I
right,
don't think that's the way people should see it. I wasn't trying to
yeah,
blackball people. I was just saying like that's how a lot of people think, and it's like you would enjoy yourself or be more productive through gamification. In my
yes,
personal
definitely.
opinion.
The job itself needs an end goal, not a personal end goal for you. The job,
Exactly.
if you want the job to be motivating, the job needs to have a path there. Uh, Next, development and accomplishment. So basically, in games, if you see yourself developing, you see yourself getting stronger, better. In Rocket League, it doesn't even have to be like a badge or something or items. If you physically see yourself getting better mechanically or in real life, your skills, your coding, your writing, your number adding ability, if you see yourself growing, that's very engaging, and if you care about it, it's very engaging. So, uh, like we brought up, can you think of any other games that?
I think one of the games where you have the quickest sense of development is a game called Clash Royale. All it takes is you to throw out one card, make a mistake, and be like, "Well, I'm not doing that again." And then the next time it happens, you're like, "Man, I predicted that. I'm getting better at this game." I think Clash Royale is a great sense of development, and accomplishment in Clash Royale isn't high. But if you're pushing to a certain trophy level in that game and you finally hit it, there is a massive sense of accomplishment
Oh
in doing
yeah,
that.
yeah. I think Clash is actually a freaking great one for this because if you're doing good, you go to the next stage, the next arena, so you can actually see yourself rising in the ranks. You see your trophy count going up. That feels good. you see yourself getting new cards. You're getting rewarded with new cards. So seeing yourself actually move up past your friends in the leaderboards. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of different mechanics for this. Like leaderboards is one, because you can see yourself rising the ranks. A trophy count, that's one. Going to arena, that's a new one. That's a great one to show a whole bunch of different strategies for development and accomplishment. Actually,
Yeah.
um,
Then they have global tournaments every now and
oh
again
yeah.
to compete. Like so, you could be a lower level player, but have a chance to play against like high end players.
So then the next one is empowerment of creativity and feedback. So this is basically you're in charge. You think of how you want to do things, and you get to do it the way that you think. So in World of Warcraft, they're not telling you what to do. You have a list of quests, a list of side quests. You get to choose which one you want to do. In other like video games, like Uncharted or something, you're following the path that they have set for you, and that can be fun because for different reasons. But in World of Warcraft, it's a whole new level of engagement because you feel like you're in charge. You're not following a preset path. In work, as an accountant, you're given the paper, and you're not really in control. You're following a whole bunch of rules, and that's totally fine. It's just not as engaging as something where you can be in charge. Can you think of any games that?
Involve empowerment of creativity and feedback.
Yeah, even just like Roblox, because
Yeah,
you
I,
design your character. You're in charge of how it looks.
I was gonna say sandbox games.
Yeah, you should tell them about like you were rating their characters.
Oh yeah, so actually my biggest live stream on YouTube, I had over 100 people in there. Um, I was just going through. Everyone was telling me their usernames on Roblox, and I'd go on over to their account and I'd rate all their avatars because everyone had a different looking avatar. Like that was a big thing in Roblox. Was this is my character. I designed it the way I wanted it to look, and it's like yeah, I'm really proud of it. So go ahead and rate this, and everyone wants like a satisfactory results in their own opinion. They worked hard on it, and
Mhm.
they have their own sense of like empowerment of their character, their own
Exactly.
creativity.
Yeah, they created their character. They were different. If everybody had the same skin, they wouldn't be as proud as their person. And so the feedback part of that, they created their character and they loved hearing what Logan had to say about it. So that's cool. Like if you have the ability to express yourself and have other people express what they think about your expression, that's a great thing that can definitely encourage motivation and engagement. The next one there is ownership and possession. So uh, this character, it's yours. It's no one else's. And in Uncharted, you're all playing the same character. In Toontown, you make your own tune. It's your guy. You name it. You edit it.
I was gonna say in video games, I think a lot of people get the satisfaction of ownership and possession when games restrict a certain username to one person because that character is yours. You are the only what insert IG in here. You are that person.
Definitely. And so this has a little bit of what's called black hat to it, which means like you're scared if you don't do something. So we'll go to Clash of Clans instead of Clash Royale. It's your base. Your friends can see it. So your base is attached to you. If it's bad, you don't want that base to be like associated to you. You want to upgrade your base because it is yours. Everything that's yours, and if you have a sense of attachment to it, you're going to want to make it look better for everybody else. So it's a little bit of not just like motivation to do good, but it's motivation to not have it look bad. So uh, yeah. So another one, the next one there is social influence and relatedness, and this is actually a huge one. Uh, if other people think it's cool, you're gonna want to do it. If your friends think it's cool, you're gonna want to do it. But also, you're gonna want to keep doing it. If everybody likes it, if everybody's doing the same thing, it's just motivating. So Rocket League, me, Logan, and our cousin, we play Rocket League Mondays and Wednesdays, a couple more times maybe. We all three like it, which keeps us coming back to it. If none of us liked it, we wouldn't be doing those tournaments. It's the fact that all three of us like it that's really getting us to do that. some other things are like if you see a famous actor advocate for something, you like them, you they're like a mod idol to you. You're gonna want to do that too. So this is basically that. What is that in English that we learned? Persuasive. Uh, it's like logos, pathos, and
Ethos.
yeah. Which one is that?
What? That is ethos.
Appeal to authority.
Yeah, ethos is appeal to authority.
Yeah. So bandwagon. If everyone's doing it, I want to do it. If my role model's doing it, I want to do it. If my friends are doing it, I want to do it. So that's a really powerful force. If you can start a viral effect for this technique, like if you can create a short little video that everybody likes, everybody's sharing it, that'll make whatever you're wanting to gamify uh, blow up and have that social.
Yeah, or for example, it's let's just say you're in a group of friends and you guys all play the same game, but let's just say everyone likes John a little bit more, right? John's like, you know what, guys, I think I'm a little tired of this game. I think I'm gonna, head on over to this new game. Everyone would be like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot too. But let's just say good old Samuel's like, hey guys, I'm getting tired of this game. I'm gonna go over here. I'm just kind of like, all right. There's a little bit of social influence to everything. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Definitely, and you can use that to your advantage. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Or disadvantage if you do it wrong. All of these things, if applied correctly, absolutely engaging. But if applied incorrectly, they're actually repulsive. So it's a seesaw, and you got to find the right side. Uh, so the next one here is scarcity and impatience, which is also a big one. We'll bring up Fortnite. In the Fortnite shop, there's skins that are limited time. If it's a really cool skin and you can only buy it one time, you're gonna feel the urge to buy it right then and there. But if it's always in the shop, you'll be like, I could buy it another time. It's always gonna be there. So the fact that it's there for a limited time, you want to get it now.
Same thing with the battle pass. There are so many content creators or just casual players, but as soon as a battle pass comes out, they will buy every pass, every single tier on the battle pass, so they can get that final character first.
Yes.
That is, they don't want to wait to grind to get. No, they want to get it. They want to get it first. They want to be wearing it, 4 weeks before everyone else.
Yes, that's a perfect combination of scarcity and actually social influence. So there's barely any people that have the last person on the battle pass, so they can show it off, and they like being able to show off in front of other people that they have it. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole bunch of mix of a whole bunch of those different techniques up there. So the next one is unpredictability and curiosity. So in World of Warcraft, the story is always continuing. In Fortnite, you don't know what the next chapter is, so not knowing what's next allows you to have a little bit of room for creativity to imagine what's coming next, want to experience what's coming next. I mean, TV does this too. Cliffhangers and Marvel, you don't know what's the next movie coming out, what the heck is going to happen. So not knowing creates like an urge to want to know what happens next.
Also, a lot of games do a good job of this with microtransactions.
Yeah.
Like CSGO crates back in the day. People would burn through those because just to get a knife, you have a 1 in 100, maybe even less chance of getting it. But people want to keep doing it because they love that thought of the unpredictability and curiosity, and they just love to think that they're going to be the one that gets the knife first. Everyone wants to think that way.
Yeah. So yeah, you actually brought up a great point. Like gambling is 100% unpredictability and curiosity.
Very unpredictable.
It's addicting. It's very addicting. So this could be super powerful if applied in the right way. Loot crates kind of do it on the side of their game. It's not applied in the game.
Like it makes no impact on gameplay.
Yeah, you could absolutely, but
which many people would not like your company for, but yes, you absolutely could, such as Wizard 101.
Yeah,
but either way, we don't have to get into that.
So the last one is loss and avoidance, and a perfect example of this is Farmville. I brought it up. If you don't log on to your app, your crops will die. So this is a black hat thing. Instead of wanting to do something, you're scared to not do something. Loss and avoidance. So, like in Toontown, bring up the tree thing.
Right. So in Toontown, you can plant all of your trees and with all your gags. And in this game, you have to have you have 7 gags, and your level 7 gags takes you a certain amount of experience to use every time you use it. So it's a limited resource. With your gag trees, you can plant all of them and have access to this gag, like this level 7 gag, no matter what, without having to get the experience to get it back. Problem is, it takes 14 days to water up to it to be able to get the gag off that tree. Not only that, if you don't log on for 2 to 3 days, that tree will wither away, and you have to go through that entire 14-day cycle again
Yep.
to get
So
your gag back.
it makes you get on to avoid the fact that your gag could die. So black hat, it's not you wanting to get on, it's you scared that if you don't get on, you're going to lose the deal. So also, I think another thing of that is like limited time coupons. If you get a coupon that expires in 2 days, you're going to want to use that coupon. Uh, so there's that. All right, so now that we have a very basic overview of those things go very deep and have many different strategies to each one, and each one can be paired with a different one, or 2 more, or 3 more. So there's an infinite possibility of strategies that you can use, knowing those human core drives. But now that you know the human core drive, you can try to mix and match and make your own strategies. But now, applying these strategies to real life, a lot of people think that you just slap on a leaderboard to work. Who can sell the most insurance this week?
A lot of companies do.
Yeah. If you sell this insurance, you're going to get 10 points. If you sell this one, you're going to get 20 points. If you sell over 100 insurance policies, you're going to get a badge. So that's the absolute wrong way to do things.
Or the employee of the month rewards.
Yeah, that's waving a carrot in front of them. They know what you're doing, and it's really just annoying. It goes way deeper than that. You got to understand what's going to make things fun, what's going to make it engaging, and not just try to motivate them to do a task that you want. You got to make the actual activity fun.
And that it continues on. It's not like a clear, like you have to make sure that people can get on board with it.
Yeah, right. So there's an example of this company. I wish I knew the company name, but they were trying to get people to use the stairs more. So an incorrect way that they could have done this is say, hey, you all get accounts and you get 10 points, and the points do absolutely nothing if you go on the stairs. They didn't do that. They knew that there are other ways to make people want to go on the stairs, and I think they could have done it in a better way, but what they did is they turned the stairs into a piano. So when you stepped on it, it made noise, it made music. So that just kind of, it was a simple, very simple gamification way to get them to use the stairs, and it actually worked. But there's wrong ways and there's right ways to use gamification. So we're going to bring up some topics and think of a couple ways. Brainstorm. This is not like we didn't write anything down, so we're just going to try to come up and wing some
Complete
ideas.
spitball.
Yeah, spitball some ideas for this. So the first one is education. When I wrote down the topic, I think I thought of a really cool one. So, for example, in science class, you're in science class. You could just read through the material and take the quizzes, right? Super unengaging. But if at the beginning, let's say you're learning physics or something, at the beginning, the teacher has something hidden under a curtain. When everybody's in class, she takes it off, and it's a big, giant tower. She says on the first day of school that through this class, you're going to be learning physics, and by the end of it, you're going to be able to create a catapult to knock over this tower. You now have an end goal in mind. That's using the epic meaning and calling. So instead of just mindlessly reading the topics and just trying to get an A as your end goal, the end goal, you're actually going to have something to knock over this tower by the end of it. That's just one use of one strategy, and I already feel like that's way more engaging. And I would want to go to that class.
That also keys in on the development and accomplishment.
Yes.
It keys on development, and then at the end of the semester, accomplishment if you're able to complete the task.
Definitely. And you could throw on so many strategies on that. Like you're able to paint your catapult, make it look cool, and that would do
get to ownership and possession.
You could compare it. Yeah. Maybe you could see who can knock over the tower faster, and that would be like play competition with your friends, which would be social and stuff. There's so many things that you can do. If you can knock it over at the end in under 10 seconds, you can get like a trophy or something. So many things you could do that would make the class so much more engaging. All right, Logan, try to think of one for work.
For work. Okay. I'm gonna pick a topic and I'm gonna make sure I come up with an idea for it.
Yeah.
For work. Um, let's go with loss and avoidance. That's a bad one for work. Let's stay away from that one. Let's go with at work, ownership and possession.
Yeah, I
I
got it.
think
Try to do it for landscaping.
landscaping. Okay, how do you gamify landscaping?
That's a good one because I'll also brainstorm.
Okay, let me sit on this. It would be great if for landscaping you got the same house project for an extended period. If there was a way, instead of like working on this house for one day, it's like we're gonna work on this house for the next 2 months, and this is exactly what they are gonna want us to do. You take a picture, a before picture, and then you after 2 months you take an after picture. That will create a great sense of development and accomplishment through the time you're working there. And when you're working there, let's say you're working with two other people, and there's going to be a lead person watching you. He can say to the person who I think is the most creative or performs the best while working on this house. You can get a raise.
Definitely. Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. And I also think so. They provide me and Logan Landscape. They provided us tools. So I think as we spend more time and get better, when we get
Yes.
better, they give us a new bucket with like upgraded tools. So we kind of like upgrade.
There could be the golden shovel.
Yeah, like a golden shovel. Like
The golden shovel that only one employee gets for that
yeah,
month.
there you go. There's an end goal. Get the golden shovel.
Get the golden shovel. And then the thing is with the golden shovel, it's not just per month. You can keep the golden shovel. It doesn't go on every month. You want to try to keep the golden shovel as long as you have the golden shovel.
Yeah. So yeah, and it actually means something. It means I'm the best at this company. It's not just slapping on the leaderboard. I've done this many properties. Like that that might do something. I've done this many properties. that could be something that you want to do. But it's not like giving you a badge or something like that. There's wrong ways to do things, and you got to really dig deep and understand what would motivate them to want to do their job right, do it better. I just threw down movie theaters. I think that a lot of them are actually kind of doing a good thing. Loyalty program. In businesses, if you want to talk about businesses, Starbucks is doing a great thing with the reward program. Uh, yeah, every time you buy, you get points. So there's a point system. There's accomplishment there. When you buy something, you see those stars flood in on your screen. It feels like you did a good thing.
I actually have a really good example of that too. They have the gold member status, which you
Yeah,
get after getting 300 stars, and this actually has a social influence thing that I didn't even know was a thing. I was one in my yearbook class when I was a senior in high school. I was bragging to one of my friends like, "Oh yeah, I just got the gold card. Hey, look at this." She's like, "Hold on, let me get some." She starts going in her purse and being like, "I got it too." So just there alone, that's the social influence we had on everyone because we were gold card members, and everyone's
yep.
like, "I want to be a gold card."
That's actually a good one. So I mean, a lot of people could learn. A lot of businesses could steal from that. Like every time you watch a movie, you get points and stars. You get free popcorn the next time you come in. That's a great one.
Or you can, I think movie theaters are a good chance to have scarcity if they started limiting showings on certain movies.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
That it's risky, very risky, but they could be like, we're only showing this movie 3 times.
Yeah. I think we're gonna talk about gamifying drive-throughs. Me and Logan have a little connection to this one because we wanted to gamify the drive-through experience because right now it's slow. Right now it's boring, and that's not necessarily a problem, but it's something that could be gamified to make the experience more fun. So go ahead. How would you gamify the drive-through?
Let me think here.
Uh, well, we had the idea of you could honestly make the drive-through kind of a tiny, tiny little story. Uh, you order your coffee at a coffee shop, and you can see like the owner of this coffee shop, who's like this little goblin guy, make your order. And it's a funny little story. It makes you laugh, but it makes you want to go through the drive-through, and you enjoy the drive-through experience.
I'm so sorry. I misinterpreted drive-throughs. I was thinking of like a drive-through movie theater. I don't know. It's drive-in. I was thinking of a drive-in movie theater.
Yes.
Okay, drive-through. Drive-throughs are very easy to gamify. I am so sorry for that. Uh, but yeah, we would gamify our coffee shop by making it feel more like an experience
Yep.
rather than just a traditional coffee shop. You want to feel involved with this company. Feel or we were gonna have a pane of like so. We would have two traditional windows, but at the first window there wouldn't be an actual person there to greet you. It'd be the mascot of the company, with a funny animation of him like making your coffee and you with your name on the cup. It's customized where you can literally watch your coffee being made by the company's mascot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a couple other things that you could do, like if there's a way to quickly print a wrapping for the cup, and on an app you can customize the pattern of this like cup. So when you get your cup, it's your pattern around the cup, and you kind of have like a sense of ownership of that. It's like, this is my cup, this is my drink. Or like when people see, like when people name drinks after people who get that drink a lot, like me and Logan get iced lattes a lot. If they started calling it the talkie, ownership and possession.
And we also plan on getting some type of branding deals every month. So let's say you're a loyal customer at this drive-through, there would be a new drink that was like involved with another company. So that goes with the unpredictability and curiosity. If you're a loyal customer to this drive-through, you'd be like, I wonder what's going on here this month.
And scarcity.
It's only scarcity. Yeah, it's only there this month, so you better go get it.
Yeah. So Starbucks recently actually did this with hazelnut. Unfortunately, they got rid of it, and it's
not sure if that was on purpose.
But it's working, because the second that they release it, we're going to go ham. Yeah. So as you can see, you really can take these elements of gamification and apply them to anything. We really just scratched the surface and probably gave bare minimum examples of what you could do, but you can mix and match human core drives, just understanding what makes people tick, what makes them engage, what makes them motivated. Video games do it best. That's what their industry is founded on. So stealing some of their strategies, making your own, and applying them to work, education, everyday life would make you a more motivated person, a more engaged person, a more happy person.
Or simply put, just for a second, think about the things you enjoy, and then from the outside looking in, think about why you enjoy that certain thing, and try to apply it elsewhere.
Right. Yeah. So these boring things that you have to do work, they're not gamified. So you can apply some of these things to make it more engaging. Even if you know it's there on purpose to engage you, it's still engaging.
Right. Like we work landscape. To just make it somewhat more fun for yourself, you time yourself on how many weeds you can pull in 5 minutes.
Perfect. That's a great one. Yeah.
And then let's just say my brother and I are together that day. Be like, hey Chase, I pulled 72 weeds. How many have you pulled?
Right. Yeah, you actually just brought up a great point. We work together, but we get separated a lot. But I'd say the more fun days is when social influence versus
yeah, when the two brothers work together. Yeah, exactly.
And it's probably So gamification, great. Make your own life more engaging. You can apply it yourself, but if the higher ups of companies actually applied it to their positions and gamified the experience, it would be much more fun. So now that you know a little bit about gamification, maybe you can apply it to some habits in your life or come up with some business ideas that apply gamification. I know that's what we're going to do.
And I'm not sure where you're uploading this, but feel free to throw their ideas in the comments if there's a comment section.
Yeah, we're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be on Spotify, Apple.
Perfect. Yeah, we'd love to hear your input and opinions on the matter.
And please review, because if you like it, we'll definitely do more. If you don't like it, we'll still probably do more. But yeah, so that's gamification. In the future, we'll talk about some more strategies, deep dive into certain topics, talk about actual real life examples of gamification. So if you like that, go ahead and listen to the next episode. This will be up on Saturday. So
check out Bursting on YouTube.
Absolutely. All right. Toodles.